There's a strange kind of loneliness that exists in modern dating. Not the kind where you have nobody, the kind where you have dozens of people, but still feel unseen. You can have matches, you can have messages, you can have people telling you you're attractive. And yet, at the end of the day, you still feel empty. If you've ever laid in bed scrolling through conversations, feeling more disconnected with every swipe, this video is about you. Because what we call dating today isn't actually connection. It's stimulation without safety, attention without intimacy, choice without attachment, and the human nervous system was never built for that. Modern dating feels empty because, on a biological level, it is. When people think they're exhausted from dating, they usually blame the apps. But what they're actually exhausted from is being emotionally alert all the time. Every conversation feels like a performance. You're not just talking, you're being evaluated. Are you interesting enough? Attractive enough? Funny enough? And at the same time, you're evaluating them too. Is this worth my time? Are they better than the last person? Is someone better one swipe away? So nobody relaxes. Two nervous systems sit across from each other, both guarded, both scanning for threats, both pretending not to be afraid. That isn't flirting. That's two people in survival mode. And survival mode kills intimacy. Your body cannot open while it's protecting itself. That's why even good dates feel empty now. Nothing bad happened, but nothing real happened either. No one let their guard down. No one felt safe enough to be honest. No one felt chosen. And when no one feels chosen, nobody bonds. Our brains evolved to bond slowly, to recognize one face, one voice, one nervous system at a time. We were wired for depth, but today we live in a culture of endless options. Every time you open an app, you are reminded that someone else is always one swipe away. Someone more attractive, someone more exciting, someone who might be better. That constant awareness doesn't make us feel empowered. It makes us anxious. Your nervous system doesn't feel abundance. It feels instability. Because how do you relax into someone when your brain knows they can disappear at any moment and be replaced just as fast? So instead of settling into connection, we stay alert. We perform, we impress, we curate ourselves. We never truly land. That's why so many people feel like they're dating, but never actually bonding. They're showing up with their personalities, but not their nervous systems. And real intimacy only happens when your nervous system feels safe enough to soften. But safety requires consistency, and consistency doesn't exist in swipe culture. Trauma makes this even harder. If you grew up in an environment where love was unpredictable, emotionally distant, or conditional, your nervous system learned that closeness is dangerous. So now when someone starts getting too close, something inside you tightens. You might not consciously think, this is unsafe. You just feel uncomfortable, restless, bored, numb. So you pull away, or you start looking for someone new. Not because the person in front of you is wrong, but because intimacy activates your old wounds. And modern dating makes it incredibly easy to escape that discomfort. You don't have to work through anything. You can just swipe. You can just disappear. You can just start over, which feels relieving, but it keeps you stuck. Because every time you run from closeness, your nervous system never learns that it can survive it. So you repeat the same cycle. Excitement, connection, fear, distance, over and over again. And it leaves you feeling hollow. This is why people can be talking to 5 people at once and still feel alone. Because none of those connections are deep enough to calm the nervous system. They're just distractions, dopamine hits, little bursts of validation. Someone texting you back, someone liking your photo, someone wanting you. It feels good for a moment, but it doesn't feel safe, so it doesn't last. That's the difference between attraction and attachment. Attraction is about stimulation. Attachment is about regulation. Modern dating gives you infinite attraction and almost no attachment, which is why it feels so empty. Think about the last time you actually felt close to someone. Not excited, not obsessed, close. That feeling where you could breathe easier around them, where you didn't have to perform, where you could just exist. That's what the nervous system is craving. Not fireworks, not intensity, safety. But safety requires slowing down. And modern dating is built to keep you moving, always swiping, always talking, always comparing. So nobody ever fully arrives. This is also why intimacy feels harder now than in the past. There's another layer to this that almost nobody talks about. Modern dating doesn't just give us more options. It trains us to think of people as options. Profiles, photos, bios, traits. We don't meet a human first. We meet a resume. And the moment someone disappoints us, even in a small way, our brain doesn't think, let's work through this. It thinks there are thousands more. So we never build the emotional muscles that real intimacy requires. Patience, repair, staying when it's uncomfortable. We only build the muscle of leaving. And the more you practice leaving, the harder it becomes to stay. That's why people feel like they can't feel deeply anymore. Their nervous system has learned that everything is temporary, so it never fully invests. You might think you want love, but your body's preparing for loss. Not because people are worse, but because their nervous systems are overwhelmed. We are overstimulated, constantly evaluating, constantly seeking, constantly guarding ourselves. And intimacy requires vulnerability, which feels risky when everything is temporary. Why open your heart when they could ghost tomorrow? Why attach when there's always someone else? So people stay half in, half present, half protected. And half love feels like nothing at all. You might recognize this in yourself. Maybe you've noticed something else too. Maybe when someone is truly kind to you, consistent with you, available to you, you feel strangely uncomfortable. You might even feel turned off, not because they're boring, but because your nervous system doesn't recognize safety as attraction. It recognizes intensity, distance, uncertainty, the chase. So when love shows up quietly, your body doesn't light up. It braces, and you tell yourself a story about why they're not right. But the truth is, they're just not activating your old wounds. And without those wounds being activated, you don't feel that familiar spark. So you keep looking for it, even though it's what's been hurting you all along. Maybe you've had moments where someone really liked you, and instead of feeling grateful, you felt pressured. Maybe you lost interest right when things got serious. Maybe you keep chasing people who are emotionally unavailable, because at least they don't ask you to be fully seen. Or maybe you keep scrolling through profiles, hoping to feel something, but nothing ever quite hits. Not because you're broken, but because your nervous system is tired. It's tired of trying to connect in a world that doesn't support connection. It's tired of pretending that attention is the same as intimacy. It's tired of shallow interactions that never go anywhere. And deep down, you know it. That's why modern dating hurts in a quiet way. Not with heartbreak, but with numbness. You don't cry over people anymore. You just forget them. And that's the scariest part, because forgetting is what happens when nothing ever really mattered. But you were built to bond. Your body is still waiting for someone it can finally exhale with. Someone who stays. Someone who doesn't disappear when things get uncomfortable. Someone who lets you be messy, quiet, unsure. That's what heals the nervous system. Not more options. Not more matches, more presence, more consistency, more depth. There's a moment a lot of people don't talk about. It happens late at night. You've been talking to people all day. You've been laughing. You've been flirting. You've been getting attention. And then the phone goes quiet. You put it down, and suddenly, you feel it. That hollow feeling in your chest. Not because no one likes you, but because no one really knows you. That's the moment your nervous system tells the truth. That what you want isn't more conversations. It's to be seen. It's to be chosen. It's to feel like someone isn't going to disappear the moment you stop being impressive. And no amount of swiping ever fills that. So if modern dating feels empty to you, it's not because you're too picky. It's because your soul is asking for something this system was never designed to give you. And maybe the quiet sadness you feel isn't loneliness at all. Maybe it's your nervous system remembering what real connection is supposed to feel like, and grieving the fact that it hasn't had it yet. And that grief is the beginning of healing.